right, I'm in. So for this one, like I said, the F-16 is really, really good at turning around very, very quickly. And so that's going to be a bit of a more challenging opponent in some ways, I think, because it's a bit of a different aircraft as well as my turn rate is so high and just kind of amazing. And so you're really going to have to probably defend that by using that low speed maneuverability to defend against my high turn rate coming back around at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So let me know when you're ready.
All right, I'm good to go.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Alrighty, about a little over 20 miles out.
So in this one, would you say I need to merge with less speed?
Potentially. That might be a good approach to it. And that way you can help kind of whip yourself around at me and be a bit more defensive that way. I'm going to probably try and merge with the best speed I can do to give myself a very good turn rate back around on you. Also keep in mind that I'll probably accelerate a bit faster than you in a F-18. So that's also something to kind of keep in mind when you're flying against an F-16.
I'm used to flying an F-15, and I've recently made the switch, so very different type of fighting.
Oh yeah, for sure. In the F-15, you fly almost like the F-14 in that you're very much energy-centric and going up over the top a lot and stuff. Alright, coming into visual range. And merged. Cool. Be careful with trying to gain altitude like that, because that can definitely slow you down and reduce your energy state. And also with the FCS, which is different than in your F-15, is you definitely don't always want to be yanking back on the stick and the Hornet all the time. Same thing in the F-16, really, because the FCS will do whatever you want it to do, and it will bleed speed like nothing flat on you.
Good kill.
Oh, are you dead?
Yeah, I got my pilot.
Oh, okay. I didn't think I hit you that bad. I thought I just kind of winged your wingtip or something like that. But yeah, so as you can see there, I just really whipped the jet around, staying purely horizontal. And I think you would have had a better fighting chance if... I think your mistake there was when you were coming around again, trying to whip the nose around again, you started gaining altitude. And that really probably killed a lot of your airspeed and a lot of your energy. And of course, I'm not in your own head, but I'm thinking that maybe you were thinking, oh, if I gain a little bit of altitude, I can gain a little bit of energy, potential energy. But in the F-16, you really got to be, if you're fighting the F-16, you really got to be really defensive against those really hard turns. And that's kind of your only thing you can do in the F-18 against the F-16.
Yeah, gaining altitude was purely a mistake. I realized once it was too late, oh crap, what have I done?
Yeah, for sure.
Got to watch.
And also, so at one point there, if I wasn't paying attention, you would have made me overshoot there. It was probably, I want to say 15 to 20 seconds before I actually shot you, is that I almost overshot you, but what I did was instead of pulling pure pursuit lead, I went back into a lagging lead. And so that way I let you do your maneuver as I stayed behind you, not trying to pull my nose up onto you the entire time. So that way I could pop the speed brakes, slow down a bit, chop the throttles, and keep you out in front of me rather than letting you make me overshoot. So that's something you can also concentrate and think about is a leading pursuit, a pure pursuit, and a lagging pursuit. And so that way you can, a lead pursuit's going to, it's kind of like the way you would lead your guns. You're flying out ahead of where you think he's going to be and you're trying to intercept. A pure pursuit is when you're trying to put your gun pipper on him the entire time, where a lagging pursuit is maybe he's hovering up above where your canopy bow is in the F-18 and you're letting him be out in front of you. So those are some things to keep in mind as well.
Mm-hmm.
But good job there. So one thing that I think you can probably do in the F-18 against an F-16, or a good tactic or a good way to start off the fight would be to plug the burners, get as fast as you possibly can in the F-18 and bring it up into the vertical and get high and get potential energy at the start of the fight. Because in the F-16, that's not a very good tactic. From what I've found flying the F-16 here in DCS, is she really doesn't like to go vertical into the vertical. She bleeds airspeed far, far too quickly. And so I can't really follow you up there. I have to stay in the pure horizontal down low with you. So let's go ahead and try that for the second fight here.
All right.
Alrighty, back into my F-16 mobile.
I'm in and ready to go.
All right, sweet. Let me take a quick drink here. Alrighty, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. So remember, once we get into visual mode here, plug your burners, get as fast as you possibly can, and pull it up into the vertical and try to go over the top on me. And I think that will probably...
Before the merge or after?
No, definitely not before the merge. After the merge, the minute we pass wingtip to wingtip, pull it up into the vertical. I think that's probably going to be your best tactic in the Hornet against the F-16. And potentially against other highly maneuverable airplanes, such as like a MiG-21 or potentially a MiG-29, something like that too.
So I never really thought about how good the Hornet could be in the vertical.
Yeah, so the Hornet can be good in the vertical. She tends to climb really well, but against an airplane that's a pure muscle fighter like a F-15, SE-27, or an F-14, she's not going to win in that scenario. But against a smaller, more maneuverable jet that's maybe not as powerful, not as good of a climber as the F-18 is, you can use that F-18 in the vertical. It's kind of all about, like I said in the beginning, knowing who your opponent is and what their strengths and weaknesses are. In the F-16 here, my weakness is the vertical, whereas you can kind of play against that and kind of use your okay vertical game in the F-18 to beat me that way. Hopefully there's just no F-14s in the area coming after you after me, right?
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. All right, within 10 miles, make sure you get those burners cooking. Try to get as much speed as you possibly can. Good job, good job.
Only problem is I've lost you.
Yeah, you really got to be careful about that. You really got to make sure you're looking over your shoulder. Let me hop to the F2 view so I can help kind of guide your eyes onto me. I'm below you. Let's see here. Your heading is 136. I'm at your 6 o'clock low. I'm at your 6 o'clock low. So what I would do here is I would tuck it under and bring it do a split S 180 degrees down through the horizontal or the vertical coming down, and really build up that speed and to keep me off of you as I turn hard in the horizontal here.
And
Yep.
should I repeat that again? Just do what I did at the start, go vertical.
Yeah, I mean, it's dynamic. It's whatever you feel would be the best thing. And so I can't necessarily say that because I'm not in your cockpit looking at your jet, and I'm not in your situation. But right now it's all about potentially, because you've lost sight of me, if you were in a multiplayer server somewhere or you were in one of my missions, I would say right now would be a great time while you're high and fast, just simply get the heck out of there and disengage and run away from the fight. It's dogfighting, and flying in air combat is just as much about knowing when not to fight as it is when to fight. So this would be a great time to bug out, maybe let a wingman or a different flight come and zap me behind you. So that way you don't get shot down and you can still continue on with the mission and deliver your bombs on the target. Or if you need be, fly home, land the aircraft, live to fight another day kind of scenario.
All right.
But because we're here, let's go ahead and fly it to the finish. And I think your best bet here might to be a tuck over split S. And that way you can hopefully get your eyes back on me. And like I said, I'm at probably your 6 o'clock low at the moment based on what I think is your aspect here. Okay, good.
You're under.
Yep, exactly. So you ready to go? All right, in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Yep, there you go. Now, yep, I'm still at your 6 o'clock. All right, I'm right on you. I'm right on your 6. Try and shake me here. Try and shake me. All right, good job. Good job. Oop. Good job. You definitely made me overshoot there. All right, watch the mountains. Watch the mountains. Don't hit the ground again. All right, I'm still on your 6. All right, good job. Good job. And that's it.
It all started when I lost visual.
Yep, exactly. So when you do that vertical maneuver, it's hard, but it's really, really important to make sure you're looking over your shoulder and making sure that you can see that target and keep that target in sight. Also, do you have your joint helmet mounted queuing system turned on?
No.
Okay. Make sure you have that turned on. because when you go into that vertical and you're looking over your shoulder, when you have your helmet mounted sight turned on, you have an instant readout right in front of your face as to what your airspeed and altitude are. So that way you don't have to turn your head back around to look at your HUD and then back over your shoulder to look at the target. And that's a really, really nice feature beyond all the targeting of capabilities of the helmet mounted sight, is just simply being able to see your airspeed and altitude right in front of you. Now on the Tomcat, that's a very big disadvantage, but hopefully you've got a big Rio, or a good Rio in the back seat, who's giving you airspeed and altitude readouts to the pilot as he's flying over the top of that vertical, and he's straining his neck looking back to see the target. So for this one, why don't we go ahead and do something totally opposite here, and I'll fly the F-14, and you'll have to keep that in the pure horizontal and use that slow speed maneuverability to counter my high speed over the top looping maneuvers.
All right, sounds good. One question.
Yeah, go for it.
How do I, when you go up into the vertical and I can't follow you, what do I do?
When I go up into the vertical, so basically what I did right there is when you went into the vertical and I was in my F-16 staying down in the horizontal, is I kept my eyes on you the entire time, and as if you had kept pulling through and done a full, like, almost 180 degree loop, I would have, or sorry, 360 degree loop, I was making sure I was keeping the turn coming, so that way I didn't let you come down onto my tail or come down into an advantageous position. I keep my eyes on you, looking at your aspect, and turning the aircraft to make sure that we either come down into a head on again, or I can get myself into a position where as you're coming down, I can get myself on your tail somehow. So it's all about looking at the aircraft, reading the aircraft, and figuring out what his position in the sky is and where he's going to come down. And that way, either defending against that or using that to your advantage.